Sick and tired of being alone.
Yes, I'm gonna have me some fun. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And we're back.
Back, baby.
Let's do this. Let's go before
Hold
the
on.
Lord. What's that?
Hold on. How you the German? 3, 2, 1. Let's go before the king.
Let's go.
It's AJ.
And Darah. Here we are. Deep skydiving.
Skeep diving.
Skeep skydiving.
Yeah.
Deep skydiving, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Deep Sky.
Deep skydiving.
Oh, she got. Go ahead.
I don't know. That's
Go ahead.
not
Do it
really.
again. I missed it.
I don't have much more. Than
Oh, all
that.
right.
So, deep skydiving.
Deep skydiving. Father, in the name of Yahushua, we come to you right now, just lifting up your name, glorifying you in all that we do, Father. Have your way in our lives today. I ask that you forgive us for any and everything in our lives that may have brought you any dishonor, Father. Show us where we missed the mark and show us how to correct it. Convict us when we're all, Father, and lead us into the path of righteousness. Thank you right now, just for affording us a whole nother day with new mercies and new graces, Father. And even affording us the opportunity to record this podcast, this episode. We don't want to take anything in vain, Father. We want to be truthful. We want to come from the heart, and we want to glorify you with everything. So have your way with our tongues, with our mouths, Father, even with our minds at this time. Let us say things that will edify, that will lift up, that will build up, that will bring together, Father. And let us just operate in love and in compassion, Father. Have your way. Guard our mouths. Forgive us if we use any corrupt language. And let us just try not to. Well, let me try not to, Father. Forgive me for the language that I've been using. But have your way this time. Let this be the best episode yet. Let the people that hear it receive something from it, Father, and let them grow and let them want to be better and want to bring togetherness in our community between the sexes, men and women. Have your way. In the name of Yahushua, I ask you all these things, Dad. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Hey,
You ain't never
y'all.
even been to no Baptist church. What do you know?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Child. Yes, I have. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of
Deep.
Deep skydiving.
Diving.
Because you're really hot.
Sexy.
Y'all know what song that is.
Y'all know what song it is.
DSP.
So what's up? You are, and
Beautiful.
I am
Darah.
Tiara.
That's Diara.
And he's a job.
Ja. And we back with another episode of Deep Skydiving Podcast.
What up, y'all?
Thank you for listening. If you've been
Yes.
tuning in, we appreciate you guys. And, we still do appreciate you guys' feedback. So we can be reached at Deep Skydiving Podcast at gmail.com.
Absolutely.
If you have any questions, input, whatever. And
We are
also
Deep Skydiving Podcast on YouTube,
YouTube.
TikTok,
Uh-huh.
Instagram,
Uh-huh.
and possibly Facebook.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. I'm still weighing those
Yes.
options.
Coming soon.
I don't want to overwork my brother here.
Or my sister here.
Yeah. So,
And it was something else I can't remember. Oh, Apple Podcasts, Google
yes,
Podcasts,
all the platforms.
Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, we're there also. So tune in.
get into it. So, last week's topic was on our significant others having only
sex
friends
friends.
of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we kind of concluded that. I don't have anything that kind of came to mind. I do hope that people aren't thinking that I'm trying to defame them or anything like that, because that's not it. I just try to speak my realities. And you notice
Yeah.
that I didn't say you have to agree with them, but just,
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't have to agree with anything we say,
exactly.
but that's why we want you to comment. If you feel like
Yeah.
we're wrong, say it. If you got something better to say it.
Period.
Comment it, say it, reply, whatever. And let somebody else hear your opinions.
Won't be the first or last time we've been wrong.
Yeah.
And
but-
also, we are just one small thread in a very large tapestry, and we realize that. So,
But I'm pretty sure I wasn't wrong. So. So
as long
nah.
as you know.
All right. So
Yeah. So nothing new to add.
nah.
Okay.
What was said was said. I can't recap. I don't recall anything that I want to clear up or add. So
Same. Okay. Well, the new topic is
chapter closed.
exactly. How men see cheating versus how women do. Is it the worst thing your significant other can do?
Now, this is very interesting topic.
It is very interesting.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Yes, have you?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
I just knew your answer was no.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm exempt from getting cheated on.
No, because you had that. You always send me that clip from from TikTok, and you be crying, laughing at it, and I'm just like,
What joke?
About the heartbreak when he was like, I'd rather die than ever. So I was like, well, maybe he has never had his heart broken.
So no, all right. So I got cheated on.
But you didn't have your heart broken.
He was funny as hell. I might put that in there.
Yes, you should. You should include it just because it's.
That joke was hilarious.
What happened when you got your heart broken?
I did everything but die. I thought I was dead, crying like a motherfucker. I cried so hard I thought I was outside in the rain.
Hey, do love hurt? Oh,
Shit, do it hurt? I'd rather be dead than take that shit, go through that pain again. Have you be dead, you gone. You don't know. You got to live with that shit and you ain't strong enough to handle love. You got to walk around with that shit. You looking at all your friends. You ain't happy. You ain't happy. You putting on a little smile, but you ain't happy. Fuck you got to be happy about it. Yeah, they happy. You ain't happy. And you going around seeing everybody with their old lady you ain't got now, but yours done dumped your ass. Boy! Bitches just don't know. Them bitches be joking. They just don't know. I'm ready to commit a suicide. I'm take two of them with ready to kill.
But nah, when I got cheated on, it wasn't a heartbreak for me. I was like
Oh, okay.
18 years old.
Okay,
And
so how
so-
did you feel like when you did get cheated on though?
I dumped her.
So you didn't have any feelings? You were just kind of like, was it like a blast to your ego?
All right, so let me tell you the story.
Okay.
So this is what happened when I got cheated on. I think I was like 18 or 17. I was 17. I think she was 16. And so I met this girl through one of my friends' girl.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how back then we do, like, we all in high school. At this time I was kicked out of high school though.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how that's your homie girlfriend and she got friends and then y'all link up. It was one of them situations.
Yeah.
So
Took one for the team.
Hell no, I ain't take one for the team. She ain't. Gotta say nah. Hey, Zo don't take no. I don't
But
take
it was
none
a
for the
defaulted
team.
situation though.
Wasn't what you mean a defaulted situation?
You said it was his homegirl's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And y'all was like,
and I liked her.
oh, okay. Cool.
And we
Got you. It was just the exposure.
Yeah,
But you could have
I met
you could have
her.
very well not liked her and not gone out with her.
right.
Okay.
Look, I don't do no take one for the team stuff. That ain't what I do.
Okay.
So, but nah, I met her through my homie's girl.
Okay.
So she really had connected us. My homie's friend, went to their friend's house. It's hard to do this without names. So my homie's girl was girl number 1. My girl was girl number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was this other girl that was girl number 3.
Okay.
So my homie's girl and my girl went to girl number 3's house. Oh, went to girl number 3's boyfriend's house.
Okay.
And then he had a friend or whatever. They went over there for that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all knew that this was her boyfriend and he had friends and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So she took my girl over there to her friend's boyfriend's house and everything. And she messed around and did something with one of his friends.
Oh, okay.
And then my homie's girl calls me and tells me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Early snitching.
Yeah. I'm like, you took her over there.
Right.
And then-
How you gonna snitch on her?
Yeah, you set the whole thing up and then, yeah. So
Yeah.
she called me. I was working at this restaurant back then. I was a busboy.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept calling when I was at work. And I was like, look, man, I'll call you when I get off. And so when I got off, she told me what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, all right, bet. And so, no, matter of fact, she told me, she said, hey, such and such cheated on you while I was at work. And I was like, look, I'll call you when I get off. When I got off, she told me everything that happened. And so I said, all right, bet. And then I called her. And I was like, it's about to get real messed up. What I'm about to say. But, so I was like, I called her.
Say it anyway.
Don't judge me. This was 17-year-old me. I had
Exactly. We're just being real. That's all.
yeah.
People been here before.
So I was like, hey, man, I'm trying to get my Jones. I said more vulgar words, though. I'm trying to get my Jones. Boop. Right? And so she's like, what? Because I didn't talk to her like that. I never talked to her like that.
Oh, so you was doing something out of anger.
I really wasn't mad. But I got salmon on my lip.
No.
I really wasn't mad, but I was just like, yo, you Obama. So I lost all respect for her. This was how I was breaking up. This was my way of breaking up with her. I was childish. I was like, look, man, I'm trying to get my jump sucked. And she's like, what? Why are you talking to me like this and everything? I'm like, you go suck other niggas' jumps or whatever, and you can't. I like. And so she was like, what? I said, you know what you did. I had called her the B word, and I was like, we done. And I hung up on her. And so she calls her friend crying and everything. And then her friend calls me back. Why did you break up with? Same thing I did. She's
What
like,
you mean?
why did you make Jasmine cry? Why did you do? Oops.
Well,
Oops. But
yeah, she don't watch this.
Yeah. But she's like, why did you such and such? Nah, but she cool peoples though. She cool peoples. But we was young back then. But she was like, why did you do that? This and that. I'm like, what? You told me. You the one that called me, told me she cheated on me. Like, what you thought was about to happen?
Exactly.
And so it's not like I was in love.
Okay.
I wasn't in love with her or anything. We was probably together like 2 months or something at the time.
Gotcha. Have you ever experienced heartbreak then?
Yeah, but I broke my own heart.
That doesn't really count.
Okay, so
Yeah. So
it does count. But
So no.
what you
How
mean?
you break your own heart? Like it was with somebody?
Because it was somebody that I loved, but I knew that we wasn't gonna be no good together, and so I had just ended all communication.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah.
took yourself away from that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of different though, but not to negate it. Like it's
It's all right. My
your
little
feeling.
heartbreak don't matter. Go ahead.
No, it totally does. It just isn't
It's
what
not get cheated on heartbreak. I
right,
get it.
which is totally different.
Yeah,
It's a different category, but doesn't mean that yours is not important.
it's okay.
When you break your own heart, to me, I feel like there's a strength in that too, because you're almost
Whatever.
making
It
a
took
very
me.
conscious decision
So,
to part ways from something
We
that's
wasn't
not serving you.
together at the time when I cut her off, but we was still talking. And what made me do it is because if I would say things or do things that would make it seem like we're in a relationship, she would be like, stop doing that. We're not in a relationship, this and that, such. But then when she'll turn around and do or say things that made it seem like we in a relationship. And I'm like, man, I'm not about to go through this.
Right. She was playing around.
Yeah. So, I mean, she was selfish. She was just in who she was back then. She's definitely a different person now. But she was just doing what she did back then.
Gotcha.
She was lost and she ain't going through a lot and all that. So, but I couldn't keep going through all of that. So I changed my number, cut it off and everything. It took me like 13 months to get over.
That's a long time.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I've experienced someone cheating on me, and it was heartbreak all rolling into one. And I think the hardest thing about it was I think that was the last time like I purely loved somebody, like because I really honestly had never really gone that way that down that lane.
Yeah.
Even still, like it took me a long time to really be uncapped, you know what I mean, with him, because I was new to all of it. Relationships, being adored by a man the way that I felt like he adored me. Just having that sort of like attention, like nonstop.
Yeah.
Always talking on the phone, always, together, that sort of thing. And so it hit me like a ton of bricks when it happened. And I was actually informed by somebody who I was in class with, and I wasn't prepared for it, but I kind of like in hindsight, because hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
I knew something was going on, because any woman will tell you anyway, that the actions change.
Yeah.
Everything changes. So me and him would talk on the phone every day for hours, sometimes less, because we had school or whatever the case. Like I was in school. This is when I was young.
Yeah.
Again, I'm saying that because again, it was very pure love, but the conversations and everything stopped happening. Like, it was like, I call and he was never home. And it's like, you ain't even got no car. Like, how you, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Yeah. And then I would, start getting suspicious. And it's funny too, because just even thinking about that time, because I was really like, I guess, cool with his grandmother. And I put that in quotes because now that I'm thinking about it, and now I'm an adult, like, it's only a level of like coolness or, loyalty or whatever you want to call it that you can have with a child, especially as it pertains to another child.
Yeah.
Like
a grandmother and a child.
Yeah, like I'm not concerning myself with this stuff. Like, this is literally like whatever. Yeah. And she would have conversation with me, huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I'm just saying she would have a conversation with me in regards to him and just kind of like, you're such a young girl. Like, you're so pretty. Like, you're so smart. All this other stuff. Like, you just make sure you take care of your, your stuff. Like, just kind of like alluding to the fact that I shouldn't put all my eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
Just a very, but a very kind lady. So I'm just thinking like, that's what I would tell anyone, young lady too. Like, so I didn't really, pay much attention to it.
She knew her grandson was trash.
She did, because she experienced him bringing the other girl home. Yeah. And they lived together. So, but that wasn't her business. Like, I was mad at her.
She was trying to dry snitch without dry snitching.
Exactly.
But she was too naive.
Right, but I would get mad at her because I'm like, why don't you just tell me? Like, stop calling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you might not want to call anymore, sweetheart. Like, he seems to have moved on. But I know that wasn't really her.
Yeah.
Across the, Carrie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think what pained me the most, it wasn't even that he cheated, but he also had a baby.
In school.
Yes. He was I think I was a junior and he was a senior. Or maybe I was a senior. I don't know. Anyway, I know he was always a year ahead of me. But anyway, there was a baby that was produced from it. And then I found out it was a girl's sister who I had gone to school with. And so one of the girls that I went to school with was the one who told me about it, because her mother and the girl's mother were friends.
So this had been going on for a minute. If he had a baby.
Yes, correct. But I knew it though. So at some point, you get the, well, at least I
so
did.
How long were y'all together then?
3 years. Well, nearly.
That's damn the whole high school career.
Yeah, that's it. That was all I knew. That's why I think it was so earth-shattering. Yeah. Because when I kind of had like the same thought process, even though now it's like it's a realist, but at that time it was more of an ideal mindset of everybody is not trash. Like, I don't meet you and just be like.
Do you still carry that hurt from that trauma?
I think so.
Dang, from high school.
But I don't think it's like what you're saying. Like, I'm not.
Well, help me out. What is it?
So I don't think after that I don't think that I've been able to be in relationships and not think that the man was cheating. I don't check phones. Like, I'm not.
I don't mean that, but I mean like in regards to you being at that level with a man like you was with him.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever gone back there, but I don't think you ever can.
Why you say that?
Because that's something that I've experienced. Like, it's not like I get into relationships and I expect for the person to cheat. That's what I'm saying. Like, I give everybody a chance.
No, I'm saying get to the level where you was like, just. I mean, granted, you was a teenager.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm saying it's never going to be that, because I see people for who they are. Oh. Yeah. I mean, when you're in high school, you obviously have a different scope of the world. You go to college, like, no. That particular trauma was not what caused the difference. But we'll talk about the other trauma. That is what really caused the issue when it comes to like me and men. Yeah. But we'll talk about that on another episode. Yeah. But yeah, like as far as like being able to love and stuff like that, like I don't necessarily have a problem with doing that. But I do feel like I will never love as purely as I did when I was that young, because it's just a different person.
I think you will.
I hope so. That's the uniform.
I think it'll be better.
I think so too. Yeah. Thank you for that. So that I'm trying to explain even what that hurt was like. Like, that pain was like something I had never experienced before.
You don't even have to go back to it. You don't have to try to.
Well, I want to, because I mean people can relate to this. This is good content. Like, what you mean? You don't have to. I know he's just protecting me, guys. But I'm just saying, like, that like I'm just trying to understand or get people to understand or get people to relate to the fact that like it was a pain like I had never felt before because it was so new. It was uncharted territory. So, and then also how I had to kind of go through it by myself because my mom didn't necessarily condone us having like boyfriends. So it would be like your little friend, like he never could like come through my house and like take me out on dates and stuff like that. So it was something that was kind of like kept under the rug.
You was hiding it.
Yeah. So I had to also suffer in silence.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
So
sure
I would
mom
be in my
mentioned
room.
something was different about you.
I'm absolutely sure of it. And I'd probably ask her to this day if she ever noticed. But she had her stuff going on too.
Yeah.
But it was almost like when you lose somebody, like it's almost like a death. Like you go through the stages of grief. So at first I was in denial, and that denial phase was obviously when I was calling, and I'm getting he's not here. Like, and then of course
he probably was telling them to say that he's not here.
Right, which was making me angry because I needed somebody to be mad at, and I couldn't talk to him, so I was just mad at his grandmother.
Yeah.
But then I cried before, like, about it. I remember the time that I cried. I was like, this is so weak, yo. Like, why am I crying over this man?
That's not weak.
Well, at the time, that's what I was telling myself. I was only, what,
But you
17?
got adults that probably think that's weak, too. I don't think that's weak. When you, like, really give yourself to somebody, and they let you down, I don't think that's weak at all. I think crying,
I don't think so either.
you're just emoting. Like,
It's a
you're doing
release.
what's supposed to, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's why I encourage my friends to do so, because I do feel like, and this is like a sidebar, but I do feel like it's harder for me to cry now because of the fact that I did so much suppression when I was, younger.
Yeah.
So I always encourage, like, even my goddaughters and my friends, like, get it out, please, because it doesn't feel good to, like, have to force yourself.
You okay?
Yeah.
Nah.
It doesn't. But no, it doesn't feel good to have to, like, one, you can't force yourself to cry, right? It has to be something that's very organic.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you feel it in your chest. It's like that lump that's
You
like
don't wanna let it out.
And you want to let it out, but
That's
like
cancerous.
you can't. It is.
Yeah, it's
It is.
cancerous.
It's like it's a blockage.
Yeah.
So anyway, I
stuff
said
like
to
that
say-
causes what's called hyperventilation and anxiety.
Yep.
Yeah, man, you gotta get it out.
Gotta get it out.
What my man JT said. Cry me a river.
Yes.
Nah.
But yeah, so that was tough. And then just, trying to heal from that. But again, healing inside and, healing alone. Cause like I couldn't talk to my sister about it. People in
Why
school.
you couldn't
were-
talk to your sister about it?
Because my sister's younger than me. And when I was going through that, I didn't even feel like she understood. My sister wasn't even really into like, she was into boys, but she wasn't into like boys like I was.
Got you.
Yeah. So it probably would have been, a conversation, but also I just didn't feel like she carried that space for me
Yeah.
to be able to share that.
She didn't have what you needed.
Nah.
Yeah.
And then, friends, they can be self-involved or they got their own stuff going on. It was a rough time, man. I'm telling you.
But you didn't even try though.
What? To talk to my friend?
Yeah.
Or talk to my sister?
Your friends.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But I've never been that girl who, if I bring something up to you and I tell you how it hurt me and you go, oh, I'm so sorry. And then like we start talking about something else, I'm going to allow for the conversation to flow that way. I'm not
Yeah,
going
you
to
can't force
be
it.
like, well, let's keep talking about me.
Yeah.
But I do have friends who are capable of that, right?
Yeah.
Everything they bring it right back to their stuff. But
Yeah.
it's okay for me because
A lot
again,
of people do that.
Yes, but it's okay for me because again, I think I have, and that's something I have to acknowledge. I got to the point where that became my defense mechanism.
Yeah. But you do need friends where you're able to release those things and
Absolutely.
and they can care. They have the ability to actually care and cater to you in that circumstance or whatever.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So
All right, so let's get to it.
let's get to it. So
How do women see cheating?
So it's hard for me. So that's why I wanted to kind of like express the way I felt during that time. But as I got older, I think I saw cheating differently. So, and of course, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, but to me, I started to see the difference in dynamic of the woman and the man. And I realized that like this is not universally, but I realized that there's a level of physicality that a lot of men possess. They possess the ability to be physical with somebody without having necessarily feelings for them.
You don't gotta say necessarily. They can do it without it.
That's it. Yeah. So with me understanding that, I kind of lightened up on like, because I used to be like one of those girls. Oh, if he cheat on me, I'm leaving. That's it.
So
right?
he could cheat, and you're not gonna leave now.
Well, I just said that if when I get married, that wouldn't be the worst thing that my husband could do.
Right.
If he does it, it's bad, right? Yeah. And it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be a walk in the park like, oh, it's fine. You did.
What about your boyfriend?
Fine. Yeah, no. If it was my boyfriend like that, that'd be even looser of a criteria. Like I really don't have to deal with that. I don't know. Depends. Am I connected to him? Because if I'm not,
if he's your boyfriend, you connected to him.
No, I just told you that. I just talked about how I was not connected to my last one. Not in that way.
So if he would have cheated, it would have been easy for you to leave?
Yes.
So what about your fiance?
If I'm connected to him, then it wouldn't be easy for me to leave.
Oh. All right, go ahead.
But I don't think I would ever say yes to an engagement if somebody is not, like, if it's somebody who I'm not connected to. I'll be like, skirt, like, nah, let's not.
That's what I'm saying. So you're in engagement. Y'all engaged. You're obviously connected to him because you said yes, and he cheated.
Would I call out the wedding?
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you break up with him?
I don't know. But I definitely am calling that wedding off. Because we obviously got things, we got something to work on.
Clearly.
Yeah.
All right, so
what about you?
It's no doubt about it. It's for me.
But I love
boyfriend,
that.
I mean, girlfriend or fiance.
What about wife?
I see. You already know. I feel different about wife. Like when we get married, it's till death do us part.
Yes.
So
correct.
And that's how I feel. Divorce. Yeah.
But y'all see how like it was so easy for AJ to be like, without a doubt. Like I love that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I love that you guys. I mean, it's not like it should be like y'all shouldn't have any grace or space for grace, right? But I think that men definitely have that edge in being able to be like, nope, like you're not gonna be able to cheat on me more than once.
Nah,
but there are some men who have stayed. Yeah,
you got some men. I can't say what it is. I don't know what it is.
Well,
maybe some men have a greater tolerance for things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or some of them just may be under a spell.
Maybe that too.
Like that's a real thing. Like under a spell and under that Jezebel, you trapped under that thing. You have really no control. Mm-hmm. I've seen that. I've witnessed that with my own eyes. Guys that are oppressed by that spirit. Yeah, and they can't go nowhere. And I've heard guys say that it feels like she got a spell on me.
Dang, I've heard that too. I've heard it, but I've never heard that anybody tell me that.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. You got your app on your phone, Bible app on your phone though?
Yeah.
I want to see something. But go ahead, because you were saying that's why you wanted to express like that feeling.
Yeah, because I wanted us to be able to talk about, just the difference. Like I want you to be able to tell, like even with your heartbreak, you said it took a while for you. So I do want you to like kind of like carry us through the journey of that 13 months that it took you to get over her. But I think I was so emotionally.
But that wasn't from cheating, though.
Right? No. But I think just even going through that like heartbreak, like how you kind of like went through that, because that would be the closest thing. Because with the cheating, you said you really didn't like y'all weren't even.
I think it would have been a lot different, because if she would have cheated on me and I broke up with her, I would have easily been loosed from her. Mm-hmm. Even when I love her like that, it's something about. I don't even know how to explain it for us, man, without it sounding bad. Mm-hmm. But we are possessive, real possessive beings. And, like, I don't care how dirty a man is. When I say dirty, I'm talking about, like, with cheating, how loose he is out in these streets and everything. This is why it's messed up. And y'all see this all the time. Say, how can you be like this and you get mad at me for being like this, right? Mm-hmm. It's just something in us. And I don't even want to call it selfishness, because I think it's like part of our wiring where we don't want, even if a man got 3 women, like if they his, he don't want nobody else to have any of them. Mm-hmm. Like if he doesn't care, like if he messing with you, doing something he ain't got no business doing, y'all screwing around, and he don't care about you, like, she doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. He genuinely has no connection, no ties to you. That's nothing. But if a man likes you, if he loves you, like can't nobody else. I don't want nobody else having this. And one or two things will happen because we're real possessive. Either he'll let go. I'm the type of dude that I'm not gonna fight for you. If you want to go do something, you want to go be with somebody else, I'm gonna let you go. I ain't about to fight over that.
Is that because you've never had somebody to fight for?
Who? Nah,
Or you just in general, like you already know, like
that's just not my thing. Like my personality type is not that. Like I'm not about to fight. I've never in my life was like, man, I'm not fighting over no girl. For one, it's because if you want to fight me, then we can go. But I'm not about to fight you over her. Like winner gets to keep her. Nah, we ain't about to do that because if she wants you, she gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna make the decision for her.
Right.
Like it ain't going. I'm going to be him and only him. It's not going to be no.
I said that too. Like if it's ever between me and another girl, please go. Please choose her. Like I don't ever want to be somebody's like second choice or like option. Like if you are for me, then you're for me. Like if it's between me and Stacy or whatever, then please go with Stacy. Like don't even consider Darah. Like let me help you. I'm not even an option for you.
That's it.
So I can understand that, but I want to go back to what you said in regards to the things that you said about being wired a certain way.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that that's the way that I don't think that that's necessarily opposing how a woman is wired. I think women are wired the same way. I think that we just grant a lot more grace than men do.
That's a part of your wiring too.
That's what I'm saying. So there's that nurturing aspect and things like that. So something can be more like, I think it's there, but something can overpower it. I remember you saying that you believe that we can be so weak for men. And I know that we can be, right? I've seen it. I've been there. I've, done it, whatever the case. But what I wanted to say was this past week while we were in the shop, we were talking, we had, conversation. And I was saying, I don't think that people are very honest about the things that they really actually want. Because I think that people are so afraid of sounding like unfair, unjust.
Why did you say that though? What made you?
I forgot the conversation that I was having with one of my clients, but it was just basically, it kind of went down the same
all right,
thing
but go ahead. My
as
bad.
what
I
you
ain't
were
mean to
saying
divert.
about him being with a woman. And he said, I know exactly what he said. He has 3 kids. And he said that he does not want to, he said if it doesn't work out with his baby's mom, because he wants to like eventually marry her.
Somebody that doesn't have kids.
Yes. He was like, I know that sounds crazy, but
it does.
And I was like, I said, it absolutely sounds crazy. I said, but I think the issue is that we're not willing to talk about the things that sound crazy, though. Right? And how that's just the way that we want things to be. It's not fair. No, it's not, just or whatever the case. But I think that it's worthy of a conversation because what happens is you end up involving people in things, or you become involved in things that you don't want.
Yep.
And I told him, who told me that was Kim. She said that her and her husband have conversations and he'll tell her, they can do that. These people, they can say that, they can do that. You can't. But I get that. Like to the core of me, I get that though. Because there are certain things that other people can do that you can't do. For me, you just can't do it. Because your character, because of things that you've shown me all the way, you know what I mean? You cannot do it. Because I would be like, something's not right. I don't trust it. Because this is not a character for AJ. Now, it's not to say that something hasn't brought you there, because that was also the conversation. If I'm out of character, something got me out of pocket.
Yes.
So I must be going through something. But again, it would hurt me more for you not to do it or for you to, switch it up than it would anybody else. And I think that that's important to have a conversation about.
It is.
Yeah. So do you follow me? Like, I think that that's okay that a man can say that, like, these are my toys. I don't want nobody else to touch my stuff. But I feel like that's a conversation that has to be had, because that's also maybe a conversation that a woman can have with a man. It's not to say that he's not going to do it.
All right. So let's have it.
Okay.
So I don't believe in poly nothing.
No.
I'm all one woman man. That's it. And it's simple put for me. I don't want no man touching my woman. I don't want no other man having my woman. It's the same. I don't want no other man raising my kids. The same.
So when you die?
That's a different story. I ain't here no more.
Oh, okay. So you mean, okay, got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. Okay.
And so that's why.
While you're on this earth.
Yeah,
Got you.
that's why I understand like baby mama drama. Like I understand that this because I'm a man. I know how we're wired. You know, so I'm able to look at it from the other person's perspective.
Right.
And so I was in a situation with my ex, one of my exes, where I don't even know if she my ex. Like we was together for like 2 weeks, but we just kept talking and doing everything like way longer than that. But she had a child, and child had a father. Now they weren't together, but she never had another boyfriend after him. And so at this time, the child probably like 4 years old or something like that. I guess I can't remember, and 4 or 5 years old maybe. And so now I became a threat to where even though they're not together, now he like, oh snap, I really lost her. And so me and her went on a trip as a couple, came back, he proposed to her. Because, you know, he felt like I just lost my woman and potentially my daughter.
Yeah.
And so he proposed to her, she told him no. But after that, me and her relationship wasn't the same. So for like a week after that, I could just feel like something was different. And so just that connection piece.
Yeah.
Right. And we're gonna go deeper into that also.
Okay.
I could just feel something was different, and I about the cheating, the connection with the cheating piece, about what it means to women and men. But I could just feel something was different, so I told her. And he was over there when I was talking to her. I think she was at home with her daughter. He was there, her mother, whatever, and all that, because something was going on at her apartment. And I told her, I was like, look, I could tell something's off. And so I just straight up asked her, I said, are you questioning whether you're making the right decision or not? And so she was quiet. She ain't want to say nothing. So I asked her again. I was like, look, just be honest. And she was like, I don't know. She was like, I don't know whether I am or whether I'm not. I was like, all right, well, look, he there, right? She said, yeah. I said, put him on the phone. Let me talk to him. I said, but let me tell you this. If you put him on the phone, me and you are done. Because I already knew what I was going to say to the dude. And so because I understand, like, what I'm saying about men, like, we are possessive, I don't want another man raising my child. And I'm big on just fathers being in their child's life anyway. I don't want another man raising my child. I don't want another man being with the mother of my children. But I could say that because the mother of my children is going to be my wife. I don't have no baby mothers.
Right.
But in that situation, they might not have been married, but you can clearly see that's what he wanted. He wanted his family. So when I got on the phone with him, long story short, I just told him, I said, look, man, I could see things between me and her are different. She's questioning whether she's making the right decision. I said, I'm going to help her. And I said, and I could tell you fighting. I never spoke to this dude a day in my life until this time. Never even seen him. And I said, look, man, I said, I feel like what you did was disrespectful, but I get it. And I said, I understand you want to fight for your family, you know, I said, I ain't trying to be the one, not saying this in a bad way, but you her father. You the one that she needed in her life. I said, not me. I'm not trying to be that guy to be play daddy or whatever and everything. So I just told him straight, I said, look, man, you trying to fight for your family. I'm going to leave her alone. I told him straight, I leave her alone and you go ahead and do your thing. And then me and her stopped talking afterwards, and she reached back out to me like 3 months later though. But I'm just say that to say that I understand that mindset. When I say we're wired like this is ours and we don't want no other man to have it, that's exactly what it is. And we have no give with that. Like it's not, you really gonna have to break a man. God really gonna have to humble him for him to like really come to grips with, I lost my woman and because my child is with her, somebody else is going to be potentially raising my child or something. But that's a hard pill to swallow for us.
Absolutely, I'm sure. Like I don't know what that's like, but on the woman's side, you know, for me, I can only speak for Darah. I can't get down with the poly thing either. That's just not my thing. I don't subscribe to that. But it's only because I've never had a problem with needing more than one person to, you know, fill up my space, whatever space it is that I'm trying to hold for them. Right. I just don't need that. Like I've never cheated on anybody. You know what I mean? So my thing is I'm only requiring one man to be in that space at one time.
Yeah, I get it.
However, the only thing that I have done is I have gone back to a guy who, you know, like I did go back to the guy. While you were in a relationship? No. I have never cheated. So that just never has happened.
Right.
But I have gone back to a guy who has cheated on me. And
Why?
so that's the only
That
young
was, familiar.
Yeah, that happened one
Familiarity.
time. But I had no desire to do that again. You know what I mean? But I can tell that even with that, it was just me, being forgiving, tapping into that nurturing aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just something that I felt, it wasn't even something that I felt like I needed to do. It was just almost like, well, let me give it another chance. Like, it was, again, it felt like I was trying to be nurturing, like I was trying to be caring. I don't even know that I was completely thinking of myself and only myself even at that time.
You gotta stop doing stuff like that at your own detriment. Like, how could you not think about yourself at that time?
I mean, I was 20.
But still, how could you not think about yourself with something like that?
Well, because it was like he kept asking me to be back with me and all this other stuff. And my cousin was like, no, girl, like, he keep calling you, like, just give him another chance. And it didn't work out. You know what I mean? Because of that. But that's what happens when you let people
never
like
get
be
in
in
a
your
relationship
ear.
because somebody, somebody else. I would never, nah.
Yeah. I mean, but you're also 35.
I wouldn't do it back then. Like, you couldn't convince me to be with somebody back then. Like,
Right, I'm just saying, but that's what I would say now at 37.
Yeah.
Like, I would say that now, but back then, that's when you're younger, you do things that you have to learn the lesson is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, for you might have been all knowing even when you were 20, but that wasn't always the case, right? So,
yeah, still ain't the case, but go ahead.
yeah, so, but yeah, so just to piggyback off what you were saying, I don't want to share either.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've ever had to have that conversation. But I think, I do always ask a man, like, have you ever cheated? And there's some people who will be honest, and there's some people who just not going to be honest.
Yeah.
But I always feel like after that, I don't know of anybody who has cheated on me. I don't know of it. Like, it never came out. It's not to say that they didn't, but of all the guys that I've been with after that, that wasn't the reason why we broke up.
Got you. All right, so how do women view cheating?
It's painful because we start to blame ourselves for it. We think that we're not good enough. We internalize it, basically.
Yeah.
We think that we're not good enough. We think, that something's wrong. We think that there's something that we should be doing. So there's an inadequacy that comes along. But it really is painful because, you also have to look at the fact that even in our anatomy, we're receiving, right? So if you're having sex with that man, you have his soul inside of you. Like, it's been deposited. Everything he's gone through, everything he's been through, everything he's currently going through, depending on if y'all are actively having sex. So you're receiving all of that. For somebody to tell you,
you're not good enough.
No, that's not what they're telling me.
Right.
For somebody to tell you that he's also doing that to somebody else.
Oh.
So he's dropping it off in he's
But-
dropping it off in everybody's, he's dropping his soul off,
Everybody mailbox.
to Keisha, Sandra, and Renee. Like, all of them have a piece of him too. And it's a part of you that feels like, well, dang, like, because I'm only
Get it out
giving
of
this
me.
to him. Like, you have some women who are also
They said,
cheating.
get it out of me. I don't want it anymore.
I don't want it anymore. But yeah, you have some women who was like I had, like, one somebody who I'm cool with just said the other day, like, if he cheat on me, I'm going to make sure that I cheat on him back. Like, I'm going to stay with him so I can get it back off. But see, I don't see it that way because for me,
I don't get that.
again, there's a spirituality that comes with having sexual experiences with everybody. And because of that, like, I take those type of things very, very, very seriously. And I just don't, like, me, I'm not about to go hop on something else because
you messed up.
Right.
That just sounds, I'm going to go defile myself somewhere else because you cheated on me.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to
So
me.
that's one part, right? The inadequacy. So that's how we view it. But there's also another part, which is what I've come into, which is realizing that the reason why most men cheat is not because you're inadequate. It's something that has to do with what they're doing. And it's with everybody, right? Women too. Like, there's something that they're looking for. It's also a selfish act to me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with me more than they were looking for something more, or they allowed something else in, or, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because at what point in time did you become inadequate?
And that's it. Because there are some people who have said, like, it's because you don't do this or you don't do that. I get it, right? And there are times when we could have had a conversation, and then some people will say, well, I had the conversation. Yeah, but you felt like you needed to solve the problem, though, yourself. And that's not how you act when you're in a relationship.
Correct.
So that's where the problem lies. It wasn't the fact that, like, yes, I probably did something to, one, hurt you, or I wasn't doing something to make you feel wanted or needed or whatever the case. But you decided to solve the problem on your own, and we're in something together. That's the problem for me.
Imagine you don't have no children. Imagine one of your godchildren saying, I don't want you to be my godmommy no more. I want this person to be my godmommy. How would that make you feel?
So now I probably, I'd be like, little girl. But that's just because I have such an elevated understanding, and I realize that there's something within them, right? Like, for them to want to, like, de-godmommy me, like, they're really upset about something. Yeah, like, they're probably in their bag. Like, there's something happening. So I probably wouldn't feel hurt. Like, it probably would sting, because it'd be like, dang, like, why would you say that? But I knew at the end of the day, I wouldn't be boo-hooing because they told me that, because I know that it's something that's going on with them.
Dang, it would hurt me.
But it's not real.
I don't want you to be my Uncle AJ no more. Like,
yeah, they mad.
But
when kids say stuff like, I would take that from a kid more than I would take that from my man.
But they're serious.
They're still children, AJ.
Yeah, but it's the innocence for me. So put it like this, right? Children, like, only speak from the heart.
And only what they know. They don't know much.
And only what they know. And that's why it hurts so much, because I'm like, dang, like, I only do good by you.
They don't know that. They don't care about what you sacrificed before you came. If you didn't bring the ice cream, you're a bad goddaddy.
A cheater doesn't either.
What? Look at the sacrifice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, bad analogy for you, because you're the toughest godmommy in the world.
Yeah, I don't.
This girl doesn't care about anything.
I do care, but they're children. Like if it, I guess I've heard it before so many times. You're a bad mommy.
So they told you that?
No.
Oh, I was
I've
about
heard
to
like
say,
you're a bad mommy or you're a mean mommy. I've heard that to the kids say that to their mothers. So I don't have a chance as a godmother. But I've never gotten that. So that's also maybe a thing, because I've never been told that.
I've never gotten that either. But it would hurt me if they be like, I don't want you to be my Uncle AJ no more.
No.
Like, dang, what I do to you?
Oh.
Yeah. But no, I cried over my godchildren, bro, before.
Really?
Yeah. Like, God showed me so much through them. It's neither here nor there, though. But, see, because you don't hurt from that, it'd be hard to explain.
But don't give the analogy anyway, because maybe there are some people who will feel the same way.
Well, your own children, if your own children don't want, like, they're serious, they don't want you to be their parent, and they just, like, call the police on you, want to go with somebody else, whatever. That's how we feel, like, with our women. Like, I make these sacrifices for you. Like, I loved you with everything. Like, that connection that y'all desire, that we have, like, because this is how we see cheating. So there's two different type of men. You got men who are serious with their relationships, and then you got men that's just in them, just to be in them. Where, if you cheat on, they like, they want to make you look bad. They want to call you all types of names, probably smack you around or something. Then you got the ones that's like seriously in relationships, that's really genuinely loving their woman, that has that connection and everything, where you can tell the slightest differences where, all right, something's off. And so we know, even if you're not having sex with somebody, like, cheating could still be where now you're starting to be intimate, not sex, not physical, but you're starting to be intimate with another man. We can tell. It's the same thing when you have that connection. You notice when something's lacking somewhere else. So, like, work boyfriends, I don't do all that.
Yeah, me either.
We ain't doing no work boyfriends.
Work wife.
Yeah, work, whatever it is, work husband, whatever. We ain't doing none of that. Because you start getting intimate with other people and everything. Like, I don't believe we were made to be with more than one spouse, man or woman. I don't believe men were made to have more than one woman. Because my definition of being in love, right, was, of course, when you're actively loving somebody, when you're actively caring for them for their own benefit, but you're 100% like committed to them. Like, I'm all in with you. That's me being in love with you. It's not, for me, it's not like some infatuated feeling where I just want to look in your eyes all day and kiss you. Like, to me, that just sounds stupid.
Yeah, it's like a little, yeah.
Yeah, it's just boom, boom, this, that, here, there. But it's like people saying I'm in love with God. You're not dreaming about like having sex with God, like romancing God. It's because you know this person loves you unconditionally and you just sold out. You all in with them. Like that's my in love for women. Like, I'm all in with you.
Yeah,
I'm sold out for you.
you
Nobody else has my attention. So if somebody starts to get 2% of my attention or something, you'll know that.
Right.
It's the same with us. If I'm all in, committed to you and everything, I know when she stopped. Nothing changed. She stopped rubbing my back like she used to. Like, she don't even come in the house and kiss me no more like she used to do it. Every day she get home. These little things that start missing. We ain't stupid. Women might think we're dumb, like men don't know when women cheat. Yeah, we do.
Sometimes.
If a man is connected to you, he loves you.
If he's connected.
He knows. That's what I'm saying. You got two different types. You got some that's not really, you're in a relationship, but you're not connected. You're in a relationship because that's just what people do. And then you got
But
those
I think that's the same thing for women, though. Like,
What?
so we're having the same conversation. Like,
Exactly.
we absolutely know when that's happening.
Yeah.
But
I just
we,
think
in our
women
minds,
are more, I think y'all are there more than we are. So, like, because y'all yearn for that connectivity.
Yeah, so we're paying
Right.
attention.
Yeah.
I agree. But
Because
that's why it's so discouraging that when it happens, like, we'll be more susceptible to looking over it and like just continuing down that road just for the sake of like continuing on with this person that we are so
I don't think
connected
y'all
to.
should.
What, continue on?
Like, overlook anything.
I don't think so either. But
Like-
it's easier. It's definitely easier said than done.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
So.
I mean,
guess
what you
it is.
like you're saying, you coming from a different whole
Yeah.
school of thought. But again, me too, right? Like, again, I haven't experienced cheating from anybody after that, though.
Yeah.
So,
But have you had that level of connectivity with anybody after that? See, I don't want to be doing relationships just to be doing relationships. That's why it's not even easy for me to get a girlfriend, because I'm real empathetic. And so when I commit to somebody, even when I join with somebody, it's deeper than just, we're there on a spiritual level. Like, I could get there on a spiritual level with a person quick. So when they hurt, I don't even have to, it doesn't have to be communicated to me that they hurt. Like, I could sense it. I could feel it also. Like, so that's why I can't relationship just a relationship. Like, when it's a relationship, we committed. Like, if we're gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend, so like how dating, you got people that's, how you say it, dating, and then exclusive dating. Ain't no exclusive dating for me. It's we dating and then boyfriend and girlfriend. Because if I'm not dealing with anybody else because I just want to be exclusive with you, I just made myself committed to you. That's just is what it is. It ain't nothing. To me, it's nothing between dating exclusively and me being committed. It's the same. I know other people might see differently. Like, no, it doesn't mean I'm committed to them. We just still going out and I'm not seeing nobody else. Because I'm so black and white, for me, it's like, if I'm not seeing nobody else, then for me, that just means I'm committed to you. And now I'm working towards something. And once I get committed, this is where that connectivity comes in for me.
oh, okay. Yeah, it's I be having the game messed up, because that was really kind of what happened in my last relationship. It was just like, when I say that I'm gonna be committed to you, for me, it does mean exclusivity. But it means that I have stopped like talking to all the other guys. And then now we're on the road to getting to know each other so that we can process, connecting
I
deeper.
thought that's what we was doing anyway. Like,
And
if we're
that's
dating,
why
I thought that's what getting to know each other is what we were doing.
And that's why I said, I guess that's where I messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Because that wasn't it. It wasn't given that. It was given like, I'm still talking to, like, I literally, like, when I became committed to him, I literally stopped talking to all of the guys that I was talking to, like keeping up conversation and all this other stuff, going out or them coming to, do lunch with me or whatever the case. I stopped all of that because I said, if I were in his position, that's what I would want him to do. Like, so that's what I believe that was. But for him, it was like, we're at the altar. Like, that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about altar.
I'm not that committed. But.
Right. And I was just like, but I just didn't feel like he knew me, like he needed to know me for us to be talking altar.
For y'all to be altar calling.
And most people be like, oh my God, like ushy, gushy, mushy. Like, I'm so ready to get married. Like, so let's do it. But I was just like, no, because if I'm like you, like I'm not, it's body bag. Body bag.
Death do its part. Mm-hmm. One of us got to die.
That's it.
If you going to cheat, somebody got to die. One of us got to die. Say no.
But still, though, and I'm not going to just be hopping the broom. You know what I'm saying? Just because you thought that, like, when we was talking about commitment, you was talking about, like, wedding bells.
Nah.
Yeah, I wasn't there. So.
Not wedding bells, but I don't even want, if I'm dating somebody, like, you better off not telling me that you seeing other guys. Mm-hmm. Because I
never do. I never told him that. He never knew that.
I say, because I'm not dating you anymore.
I think that's tacky to even have a conversation like, now I'm not going to be available on Thursday because that's when I'll be going out with Myron.
I know. Not that. That's messed up to say something like that. But like, be honest and say, like, yeah, I do see.
If that's a question that's posed, but I don't think that that's something that we need to be, because it's not exclusive. I think that's when again, apples and oranges right now. So
how many dates do you have to go on to be exclusive?
I think it is an establishment through communication that you're exclusive. I don't think it's a number of dates. Because you could really honestly go on one date and be like, you my man. All
right. So this is why I say that, because you can go on 13 dates, right? Mm-hmm. If a joker for one, if somebody goes on like 5 dates with you and y'all both know what each other is working towards, like if a man is serious and he take you on 5 dates, he's serious about you. Mm-hmm. Like, unless he just trying to get the draws, in which if you know what he's working towards. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you know what he's working towards, you know that that's not what a man is all about. Like, the dude that's trying to get the draws, you gonna know.
But there are some, but you're talking very practically, AJ, and from a very pure place. But our men are not pure like that. Some men really do very well at working to get the draws, and they have the money to do it.
And they have the money to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know how some big guys be like, I'm not going to take her out on that many days. I'm not going to get nothing. It's because they don't really have it. But there's some women who have gone out on plenty of dates, and that man has like, I mean, it's like the chase, right? And then they get it, and then it's like, nah, I'm good.
I am a man. There is a distinction between a man that's trying to get the draws and the man that's really interested in you.
You never dated the man, though. So you can't.
Nah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't make yourself like so naive or so infatuated to blind yourself to this dude's tactics. This nigga must be vicious. If all he is after the draws.
And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Like, you're coming from a very pure place. I know people who have taken girls around their family members, and you would think that the family would be like, oh, flavor of the, this is flavor of the week this time, huh? You gonna bring her over here, Tyrone? No, they don't say anything. So you thinking you in because you're around the family. Nobody says anything. And they were just trying to get
the draws. So when they got the draws, they just cut them.
Yes. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. You think it's very cut and dry. It is not that. Ladies, tell him, please. Please tell AJ, this is not how the game goes. There are some men who have gone. I knew one guy who was a basketball player who brought my friend to his basketball games, and he had a whole family, my guy. He had a whole entire family. Had her coming to the games as if she's the only one.
No, made her think that.
That's what I'm saying. So, you don't always know.
You don't. Y'all don't.
They do.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. Because you're saying you shouldn't be so naive as to think.
You know what you should do?
What?
When he take you to that basketball game,
What's that?
let me know.
Let what?
Let me know when y'all go to the basketball game.
Let you know?
Yeah. Let your male friend know when y'all going to the basketball game. Have him sit a couple seats around.
Oh.
Have him check y'all out. He gonna tell you, guy's no good.
Yeah.
He gonna get he trying to get the draws.
So that's piggybacking off our last episode.
He has
you need
game.
a male friend
Yeah, he has game.
to be able to tell you when they
Yeah.
BSing.
But nah, would cheating be if not having sex but like spending time with somebody else
Yes.
and giving? All right, so what if you're not spending a lot of time with somebody else but you're like emotionally invested in somebody
Yes.
else?
Cheating.
That's cheat. Would you break up with somebody for that?
Probably so, because if a man is giving emotional connection to another woman, it's a whole wrap for real. Like it's a rapola, because now he's like it's deeper than just a physical thing. See, for me, I think that's the reason why it's not the worst thing that a man could do to me, is because of the physicality. You could be detached from it, but if he is emotionally invested in that broad,
But that's still cheating. That's what I was getting at.
but what I'm saying is, I think it would hurt me more if he was like playing house with her, like if he had if it wasn't just
Yeah.
like a physical thing, like
Yeah.
a one night stand, like he's like texting her, like involved, like taking care of her
All
children.
right, so
if she
that's
had
what. So
them.
let's break up the levels of cheating then, because that's what I was getting at. I was putting cheating, all of that, as cheating, but because for a man, if you step out, like even if you didn't have a connection with somebody, but you just wanted to sleep with them, done. That goes under the cheating umbrella. Relationship done. You getting emotionally invested with somebody. The crazy thing is, some men, I don't want to say they're blind to it or whatever, because we're so possessive. Even if you get emotionally, for me, if I see that you're emotionally invested with somebody else, done.
You should be.
I know a lot of men that won't though.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause they,
But it should be that
they think
case.
they think they could win you back. I'm not in, for any reason possible, I will never be in competition with no other man, because the moment that I think I am,
Then
I'm
you're out.
cutting it.
Yeah, you don't want to be an option.
In every aspect. Like if he got more money than me and he could treat you or whatever, you receiving gifts from him and all that, done. That guy's funnier than me, you like hanging out with him more than me, done. You ain't the one for me.
So how's it
Yeah.
possible for you to have? How's it possible for you to be so secure then in a woman having a male best friend?
Because I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
So being friends and then being like emotionally invested and involved with somebody is different.
Mm-hmm.
So if your friend is just somebody that's a genuine friend to you that you trust, that's not somebody that you're trying to be with. Like you're not dating your friend.
Right, that's an assumption.
What?
I'm just saying that's the assumption. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that you wouldn't do.
if you are, then be with them.
mm-hmm.
But it's different if you say, "Hey, this is my friend." You have those type of boundaries. Like you're not trying to be intimately involved or romantically involved with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're saying like I'm still dating other men, and I'm not getting what I want out of it,
Mm-hmm.
which meaning the time, the emotional investment, and all that, done.
Okay.
Because it's obvious that somebody else is getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Finito. For me, I'm telling you, I have absolutely no room, no time, no space for any other man in my relationships with a woman. Like any competition there, done deal. What?
I'm just listening to you. That's all.
No.
I just wonder how that.
I'm
how,
selfish
how you
when it
show-
comes to my women.
But I'm trying to figure out how so in the dynamic, like say for instance with us, then how do you feel like you show up when it's like that, right? Like how can you
that was
respect
me.
if my man felt that way, like how you feel?
Yeah.
How would you show up or not show up or whatever you would do because of the fact that you like feel that way?
I would
Or
fall
you was
back.
like, I'm just your friend, so
I did it before. So I intentionally,
they don't know that.
I'm telling him, I intentionally like stopped. He doesn't even know that, but I intentionally stopped texting and everything. I know when you said y'all certain days y'all would go out and everything, I'm gonna leave her alone because I don't want it to look like it's something more than it is. I don't want him to think I'm crossing any boundaries or whatever. I respect his space, and then and you create You create that boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't. To some people, it may look suspicious or whatever, but you do this with anybody, not just your significant other. Like, if you're with somebody, regardless of who it is, friend, family, like, you're not all in your phone. Like, you'll reply when you get to it or whatever. My best friend is not, just because you're my best friend don't mean like I'm gonna be up in the bed with my girl and when I see your text,
Right.
let me reply. So you still create boundaries. There were still boundaries that even you create. And me knowing that, for one, I respect men so much, period, that I'm not trying to violate your relationship with somebody else.
I just wonder that to be put out there. I know it, but I just know that they don't know it. And again, even if there are people who are, you know, who have men who have women best friends, like that, all of that stuff does need to be into place. But I'm like that anyway. Like, I don't have a problem with creating a boundary, and that's just what that is, right? I realize who I am, what I need, and so therefore I act in that same way. Like, I'm not going to have you texting me at all times of the day and all this, you know what I'm saying, being disrespectful to my relationship, like, because I wouldn't want it to be the shoe on the, like, even when you had a girlfriend, I'm not blowing you up. You even called me and told me, AJ called me and told me, like, listen, she don't really, you okay?
Yeah, it's a kind of eyelash or something in my eye. I'm listening though.
Look this way. Look up. Look down. I don't think it's there anymore. Probably like a ghost thing.
Still that feeling. Yeah.
He called me and he said, you know, listen, my girlfriend doesn't feel comfortable with us upholding, you know, the same amount of conversation. He was like, you know, I don't even necessarily want to have this conversation because I know the nature of our relationship and there's nothing that's going on between you and I. But if she doesn't feel comfortable with it, then I have to draw a line in the sand. And I said, what did I say to you? I said, thank you.
She said, you said, I'm surprised it took this long.
Yeah. Like, I was like, okay, this is good. And I really admired him like that. I actually gained a lot of respect for you. I don't know if I told you, but I gained a lot of respect for AJ that day because I would want for, if my, you know, boyfriend or anybody had a girlfriend, I mean, a girl best friend, then I would want him to be able to, you know, draw that line in the sand, even though I'm not that type of person anyway. Like, I don't feel threatened or anything like that. But it's just like, if I did, like, I would want him to be able to, tell her, like, I don't necessarily want to do it, but I'm sold out, like you said, sold out for this girl. So this is what I have to do for my relationship. You understand, right? And it's like, because you know my character, because you know my love for you, I wasn't like all up in arms, like, well, she's just gonna have to deal. I was like, all right, bet. Because I know what I said to you. I said, this isn't, it's almost,
not the end.
It was almost like he was mourning. Like, I really don't want to stop talking to you.
But I was like, I thought you was going to feel a certain way. That's why I was like, what the hell?
But I was like, this not it for us. Like, I knew that it wasn't one of those situations where we would never talk again. I just knew that it was just going to be on a lighter, you know what I mean? Like a lighter case by case situation. So. But I think that that's important to, you know, let people know, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are, like, not aware of.
My left eye just not acting right.
I think it's just irritated at this point.
Yeah, probably is.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't know that. And the crazy thing is, I said I won't do that again. And let me explain why. Because it was just, only reason I did it is because my brother told me to. So me and her was in the car, and this is back when you had an Instagram page. Now, I'm not on her Instagram page. You not on mine. I don't know how this girl found your Instagram page, but it definitely was a spiritual thing, because she said she don't even know how she found your page. It must have, like, popped up on Explore or something. I don't know. But she said when she seen you, she knew that we had a connection. Okay. And she had asked me, she was like, no, one day I think I brought you up, and she was like, who is Darah? And I told her, and she was like, is this her? And she showed me your Instagram page. I'm like, how you find that? She was like, I don't know, I seen it yesterday, and I just knew that you two had some kind of connection, whatever. And then it commenced to being an argument. And I'm just like, all right, well, she's like, call one of your accountability brothers. So I called my brother, and I had him on speakerphone. I said, look, this is the situation. She feels that Darah is in a way. Like, she thinks that she's a threat or whatever, this and that. And he was like, Darah, grown woman. He was like, is this somebody you trying to make it work with? I said, yeah. And he was like, well, then do it. He's like, Darah will understand. Darah grown. She's like, if anybody's going to understand, Darah would.
Right, because he knows me. That's important to highlight too.
Yeah, my brother knows her.
Yeah.
And so I called you, and then it was like, okay. Like,
Right.
what? That's it? Like, what? She was like, yeah. She said, okay. She said, I'm surprised it took this long. So I'm like, oh, all right. Well, cool.
Yeah, because my expectation isn't that everybody who you come into contact with or become cool with, like, or, you know, get into a relationship with is going to be okay with who I am. But just because of the nature of, like, you know, what we talked about, there are some people who are just going to feel like I don't want to or need to share you with anybody else.
So I can't deal with
But
that.
that would just be difficult for us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I can't deal with that. That's why I said
Right.
I won't. This is why I said I won't do it again. So I have no intentions on, like, just cutting you off for no reason. And for me, that would be no reason, because I feel like you would be more beneficial to her and me and her relationship than you would be to me, because you're a woman, and I know you. Like, I know how your mind operates. You're very mature. You know, you handle your business, and so, and you know me.
Yeah.
And so you would be helping her. Look, this is what I understand about AJ. He's not doing this because he's malicious or whatever. This is just how he thinks, whatever. But you could be helping her get to know me better, so that our relationship could elevate, we could take it to another level and everything. But whoever I deal with, for one, this is why I'm never going to cut you off, because me not having to cut you off for the sake of that relationship is showing me her level of maturity, and it's showing me that this is a person that is worth my time. Because she's going to just have to trust me. For one, if we ain't crossed that line when we was single,
Right.
then why
But that's the thing, though, and that's why it is a character. That's why it is a character check, and that's the thing, because most people don't. They're looking at us still like they lie. Like, I don't know what, you know what I mean. Like, there's no way that they've never done anything. Like, never touched, never kissed, never. No, right? Like, and if you can't take my word for it, then let's cut it off here.
Anyway.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
So,
because what you're doing is you're creating a problem for something that is not a problem, and it's always going to be a problem for you. And that's what I say.
Only for you.
Yeah, and what was my issue in the last situation is, do you think that you could ever out mad or be so mad at me that it would stop me from doing anything with this man?
If I wanted to.
Right.
Right.
If that's what I wanted to do, I would do it. It would not be because you're mad at me or that you're arguing me down because of this, that, and the third. Like, no. And don't tell me how to govern my friendships that I've had before, who, you know, you. And that's not even no disrespect to you, but why are you involving yourself in that? Like, let's get this together.
Yeah.
You know
You're
what I'm
worried
saying?
about this over here.
Yeah, you're worried about something that doesn't even really concern you.
But that's why.
But
Now go ahead.
go ahead. Go. That's why what?
So that's why that's the one thing that I really respected about my last ex. She heard a conversation that you and I had on the phone, and she felt a certain way about it. She was like, how come we don't have conversations like that? And I told her, I was like, you gotta understand, I've known this woman for probably 10 years. And we're 4 or 5 months in. Yeah, at that time. Like, we're like 4 or 5 months in. So you can't even expect to have conversations. You'll have conversations with your friends that you no longer deeper conversation than you would with me.
Right.
But give it time, we'll get there. And then she asked me, we was riding in the car, she asked me, she said, have you ever, and I just didn't let her finish. I said, no. And she said, so y'all never kissed or anything? I said, no. And she left it at that. And I've never heard anything else about it. I've never even got the sense that she was insecure about our relationship or anything. And so I had utmost respect for her for that one. Like,
I
she
like that
trusts
about
me.
her too.
Yeah.
I like that about the fact that, but I also understand that she also had a male best friend too.
Yeah.
But I don't know the
But
dynamics
they
of their
wasn't as
friendship.
close as,
Yeah, I don't know the dynamics, but I also know that that's something that I'm able to do.
Yeah.
So it's not me expecting for somebody to be any different than me, or you know what I mean. So I don't have a problem with my man having a woman best friend.
Yeah.
But I understand, like my mom, she won't even say, you know, that he's necessarily her best friend because it's like her brother. But they talk every single day, all the time. You get what I'm saying? And maybe, you know, my stepdad probably felt away or whatever at some point. But he knows she ain't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
because
sometimes
her
you just have
character
to.
says different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you also have to get to know a person. You have to give them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to be secure in self. You have to be enlightened, you know, to be able to see a thing as a thing.
Yeah.
And understand where your place is in that situation. But everybody can't go. So it's not me being mad at anybody for not understanding this.
Yeah.
It's just that I know that whoever it is going to be somebody peculiar. So your wife is not going to be somebody who's going to constantly be jealous of anything that we have going on.
A little shallow, easily angered, easily jealous type chick. It's not going to happen.
But like I told my ex, whoever I end up with is going to have to be okay with me being with the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't constantly be wanting to be pick me, please. Pick me over everybody else. I just need to feel needed. Like, please. Because of the fact that, like, I know my ministry has something to do with, you know, people helping people.
Yeah, you serve.
Yes, I'm in service. So how is it possible that you think that I can cut that off? It's not something that literally brings me joy.
Yeah.
So when you ask me to just be, you know, all about you and all this other stuff, I get that, right?
Yeah.
I do feel like there are times where it just needs to be you and I. But if what you are expecting is for me to, like, kick down everybody else, and nah.
Yeah. It'll be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Mine have to be the same way. That's why, even if she has male best friend and I have a woman best friend, I'm telling you, I wouldn't expect him to go anywhere, right? I would expect her to put up boundaries, but I wouldn't expect him to go anywhere. Matter of fact, I don't want him to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reality of my life will be, you will be a part of our life, not my life. Like, I'm not going to have a friend that can't be a friend to my wife.
Exactly. Yeah. That's my point. And that's why I was so you just, when you were saying that just made me think about how you thought that it was me being necessarily manipulative in a situation where I was wanting for y'all to get along. Yeah. It wasn't that, but my thing is, as I exist, right? And if I'm talking about somebody who, you know, wants to marry me, then I need for my guys, because you're my guy,
to be cool.
Yes, because it's not like I got a gang of them. I don't have a line of dudes. I ain't like Drake, where it's 24 men that I'm marrying. Yeah. No, I'm marrying the one. But this guy comes in the package because of the fact that he has supported me through all of this. Like, the reason why I'm here is because now I have the respectability of man. Now there's so many things that I've learned from this relationship.
So them niggas should be thanking me.
Yes. No, no, maybe not that. But I'm just saying, like, I think that I would never, like I told you, even when me and him were talking, if we can't do this over the covers, then I can't do it at all. Yeah. Remember that conversation? I was like, because AJ's very respectable. He's like, I'm not just going to show up at your house. Like, I'm always going to, like, let you know I'm on the way. Like, I'm just not that type of person. And I'm just like, why? You know what I mean? Because I'm like, because that's how comfortable I am with him being in my space. But I get what you were saying, and it's just being that respectful person. Mm-hmm. But my whole thing was, I just don't want to do anything that I can't do out in the open, broad spectrum, like clear view. Yeah. You know, I don't want to be texting you at night like, hey, I'm gonna hit you up in the morning. No. Yeah. No. I'm not hiding.
It raises too much questions.
It does. It does. So I feel you. Like, me, you, and your wife have to be, like, I have to be friends with her. Yeah.
It's not. I don't
have to kick it with her all the time.
Yeah, but y'all gotta be cool though.
Yeah, we gotta be cool. Like, we have to have at least be able to have a conversation.
One, if I'm talking to somebody and they can't be cool with you, you're like the easiest person to get along with.
And yeah, like that's how it really is. And you like know how to talk to dudes.
Yeah.
like get at them, like get in their chest, like.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the conversation we were having when you were talking about how, like, you gotta go smack at dudes. Yeah. Like, you can't give, like, you don't give that whole, like, let me smooth it over. Like, nah, you gotta give him, like, this is what it is, boom, 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 and it don't feel good. Yeah, it's like. Yeah. You know, you sanding them down.
If you're an adult, you already supposed to be bred for that. So it shouldn't even hurt when I come with the sandpaper. Yeah. It ain't gonna hurt when you come with the sandpaper to me. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with getting along with ladies either. Yeah. So yeah, it would. I tell people, if you don't like me,
something's wrong with
It's a
you.
you problem. Yeah.
That sounds a little conceited, like a little arrogant, but
No, I'm not the only person
I
who
agree,
said
though.
that, but I agree.
Yeah,
No.
I agree, though.
The person who said that to me, it was the same thing. Like, they are like just bright lights and all this other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
even with the people who I've messed over, or people who I've done something to, the reason why they don't like me is because they're still holding on to that.
yeah,
So again, we're having a different conversation, because it's never been one of those situations where I've shut it down. It's always been because they don't want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
You know what's
again,
funny? If you don't like me, you might have a good reason not to.
I don't know though,
You might. So this
because
dude,
most people just don't know you.
they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. But I do. So my guy at my job, and we can end it after this or whatever. It's funny. This was funny. He just told me this the other day. What happened?
What?
Remember I told you the dude was like, "Hey, so I ain't like you at first."
Yes.
So this
Yeah.
is why he didn't like me, right? And I had to break him down. I had to break down to them why I reacted the way I reacted.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, because one day I came in and I had like went off on everybody because of something about my lunch or whatever. I guess somebody had took something out of my lunchbox. But that's not what happened. I think what happened, he couldn't remember the situation exactly. But I think what happened was I had left my tools at work and somebody took my tools.
Uh-huh.
And so I went off on everybody. I ain't go off like bark, boom, 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 but I'm like, look here, I know one of y'all somebody got my tools, and my tools better pop back up.
Mm-hmm. You just like laying the low. Like,
hate it.
y'all ain't finna keep.
So I put it on everybody, but I went hard though. Like these men, we on a construction site. I kind of went hard with it and everything. And so if you don't know me, you see that, you would be like, man, who does Bama think he is, or whatever. It's like being in the club or somewhere and somebody faking saying, man, I knock all these dudes out in here. It wasn't like that. But what I was doing, and I told him, I said, nah, you got to understand what I was doing here. Because you don't want nobody taking your tools, right? He was like, hell nah. And I asked my other man, I said, you don't want nobody taking your tools, right? He's like, nah. And so we all work together. And so if y'all know, if somebody knew somebody took my stuff, y'all should be holding them accountable. And I told him, and I said, and I reacted the way I reacted because I was holding everybody accountable. If you knew who took my stuff, you should have been like, nah, that's Zoe's stuff. Leave it there or put it back or something. I didn't go at everybody like F you, F you, F you. I didn't go like that. But I went hard in a way where if you ain't a man, I don't even want to say a man's man, but if you ain't built like a man, you would take offense to it. Because if you didn't take my tools, or you didn't know who took my tools or whatever, you wouldn't take it personally. You wouldn't take offense to what I was saying.
Yeah, and I guess but I am a woman though. But I guess I knew when you said that you had to go off about that. Like it makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
Like obviously you
Well,
probably
he
could have gone
understood
at it
after
a
I said
different.
it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably could have gone at it in a different route,
Yeah.
but. You had to establish, like, I feel like that's like to me, that seems like, and I don't know everything man, but it seems like a manly thing to do. Like, you're setting a tone. Like, y'all, this is not to happen again.
Yeah.
And if it does, then it's going to be a problem.
Then it's
So I'm
definitely-
just go ahead and let y'all know.
Yeah.
Do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like you have to do it, especially in your field. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
Pretty
you
much.
can't joke about it like, oh, somebody took my tools, huh? Like no.
See, so
You gotta be straight up and
You
down.
don't touch nobody's food. If you're going to touch somebody's tools, so it's not an odd thing that people use each other's tools and all that. It's like that happens a lot. It's common, but usually people will ask or something.
Yeah.
Or they'll put it back. But all our personal hand tools stuff we buy.
Right.
So somebody took my tools and didn't put it back in like none of the boxes or anything.
You
So
don't
it's
have
like
to
they
explain
took
that
it
to
and hid
me.
it.
You don't have to explain. I lost
Yeah.
a razor. Razors are small,
Yeah.
and I was pissed for the whole day because I'm like, what happened to it? And it was just because we
It
had
grew
moved
legs.
around the shop because we did like a baby shower in the shop. It was random.
Yeah.
But I was mad because I could not find my razor, and I
Yeah.
don't like my things touched. I just
Me neither.
don't. Don't touch my stuff
I lock my bag. I zip my bag up
That's
and everything. Put
it.
everything in it. Yeah.
because I don't touch other people's stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So-
So interesting.
But yeah, cheating, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
That's the easy.
And,
this is what I wanted to say too.
Yeah, read
My
that.
bad. Y'all unlock
There you go.
the scripture
Mm-hmm.
about like how men, like how infuriated we get when it comes to like cheating and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It says, this is Proverbs 6. I'm gonna start at where's that? 32. Proverbs
Okay.
6:32. But a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. It says blows and disgrace are his lot, and his shame will never be wiped away. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not accept any compensation. He will refuse a bribe, however great it is.
Wow.
This is in God's word.
Yeah, that's God's word.
He
I don't even think I ever paid attention to that.
He understands, because so if we go back when God said, let us make man in our image, it looked like us. He created something and it was a man, right? And so what we have, the wiring we have in us, the protector, the provider, the priest, the prophet, we're embodying almost the whole Godhead, like what he is in human form, right? And so he's telling you exactly how he feels when we are given over to something else, whenever we're given over to another idol or something, whenever our attention goes somewhere else. Like if you was my woman and your attention goes somewhere else, I have the right to be jealous. I had to break this down to my man. I said there's a good jealousy, there's a bad jealousy, and there's a righteous jealousy. If you're my wife, you belong to me. Not to say like you're an item, but you belong to me, you're mine. If you're entertaining somebody else, I have the right to be jealous because you're mine. Not jealous of that person because he has your attention. It's the jealousy that this belongs to me, nobody else is supposed to have. That's why he said God is a jealous God. He said have no other gods before me. Like you're not supposed to have any idols and everything. That's why when they had, you see the stories where they like built statues and all that, and God destroyed them Jones. Like a boulder might have fell from heaven or something, boom, crushed the whole statue, whatever it was. But he said, I'm a jealous God, meaning we're his possessions. Like he created us. He loves us so much. Nothing else is supposed to have that. And I will take vengeance on that other thing if need be. And that's why he's telling you, like, nothing will quench this man's thirst. If somebody comes along and tries to take you from me, I'm not saying that murder is justified. But what he's telling you is don't provoke that. Right,
because that's as far as you could go.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to here where it says on 32, but a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of
because he knows what's coming.
But it's a lot of men who I think are like ripped up pieces, like just shreds of themselves because they have been so thirsty. They've been so lustful. It's almost insatiable, right? That they want to go out with all of these women, have all of these women. They've dropped into, they've given so much of their spirit, and then they get into these relationships. And it's like, how can you give anybody all of yourself when you're what does it say? Destroyed.
Destroys himself. Yeah.
You destroy yourself. Like, so every time you cheat, that's what you're doing. You're destroying yourself. So ladies, like, and this is not to say like it's like I'm just speaking off the word, right? But I'm just saying like you're gonna take back somebody who's already destroyed himself. And this is just if y'all dating, right? Or y'all are in a boyfriend, girlfriend sort of situation. Think about that. Think about if you want somebody who can like just destroy themselves for something so trivial.
So willingly.
And we we like to say, how y'all's what y'all got is expendable, but I mean, it's not like y'all can easily get what we got because y'all can't. That's why it's been sold around the world.
Oh, all right.
No, that's why it's been sold around the world. Let's just call a thing a thing. But my point is, because of y'all's being expendable in our eyes because we can get it, think about the fact that we keep taking back, though, this same man who continues to keep destroying himself. Think about it. I think we can wrap up there. All right, let's do our next topic. I'm excited. Give me something good.
Oh, she did it. Look like one of them origami things almost.
Origami.
It was an accident origami.
Yep.
So origami accident. Men and women, feelings versus logic. How men make decisions versus how women do.
Ooh.
This can't be my topic. Is this mine also?
Let us see.
I've been talking
might
about this
be.
for the past couple weeks, like
Yes.
a lot. Like,
Yep, it's
feelings versus
you.
logic.
That's you.
No,
That's
take all of mine out here. How come you?
because you had a lot. Yours. Let me see where yours start.
All
Yours
right, well,
start.
that's
right
it. Wow, women so emotional and men so logical.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited. So
That's the
that'll
next
be
one.
our next episode. Guys, thank you again for just tuning in, getting this far into the podcast. We
Yeah.
so appreciate you all. And again, we're open to your comments. Shout out to Cree, Miss Windy City, for putting comments underneath the videos. She also always bigs up the show, so we appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah, we love you so much. And at the end of the day, y'all, we're gonna make it work.
Yeah, forgive my eyelash or whatever was happening with my left eye, because it's still happening.
Yeah, we'll go and fix this malfunction
Yeah,
after these messages. Peace.
make it
Did I
work,
do it
y'all.
right?
No, you didn't do it.
I did do it right.
Do it right. That's not it. Do it right.
I did do
No,
it.
you're not. Do it right so we can end.
I did.
That's not it. Thank you. Make it work, y'all.
Make it work.